Hello. Oh, am I blurry? No, there we go. Hello, happy Friday. I hope you're having a wonderful week so far and you're ready to celebrate the weekend or something, or at least be a little creative with the weekend. Let's go ahead and jump straight to the desk. We'll see what we've done so far with the March kit. And today we're going to talk about a photo layering composition. Is it something you would ever want to try? Are there ever photos that you might want to overlap so much that you're actually using the photos as layers? Let's figure out if it's something we think is a good thing or not a good thing. Right, but here is what we've made so far. Right, so we have got 4 3x4s here with pink and green and Pete's Dragon. We've got tags and rainbows and torn paper and a diagonal that goes the other way than normal for me, with our Iago bounds. That's 2 3x4s. 2 3x4s again for our Snow White Swiftie looks. Ended up adding some Snow White colored enamel dots to pull that all together. Got the journaling onto the vellum. Yep. Oh, I added the telephone sticker because a bit like the shirt sticker, and I was like, where can I put it? Well, it's dressing up month. Surely I can just put it on a month that we're dressing up. WB pointed out, because I was talking to him about how kids today don't answer the phone in the same way that we answered the phone when I was a child. And so he laughed and said, if you've made the title, "Hi, it's Snow White," like, "Hi, it's me, I'm the problem, it's me," then that's how he was like, is that how you would answer the phone? "Hi, it's Snow White." I was like, well, sort of. So we decided that was as close to putting a telephone embellishment in as I was going to get to a theme. So I tucked a yellow telephone in there. It matches. It's fine. And then last time we did a composition with tags and used 3 3x4s. I still need to get out my small letter stickers here to put in a platypus, Perry the platypus, and journaling's going to go in here. But that is what we've done so far. And today I've got 3 photos, and in having a look at previous months of March in my album, I remembered that because I crop all the Disney-bound photos to Instagram's ideal post size of 4:5 ratio, I have in the past printed them at that ratio with white borders, and I hadn't done that yet this month. I had been recropping them from the Instagram crop to fit on a 3x4. So I decided I would go ahead and print these at the 4:5 ratio like they appear on Instagram. So these are our Donald Duck looks. And I have to say, as much as I love the research day every year, so the Taylor Swift prompt was fun in that way, I really like a classic, everybody come up with a bound for the same character. So I really enjoyed the Disney Bound Challenge on Donald Duck Day, because when you scrolled through, it was just hundreds of different interpretations of Donald Duck. And almost everybody went with classic blue, yellow, little bit of red Donald Duck. And I really like seeing like all the different interpretations together, whereas other things are kind of everybody trying to be a different version. So like the Minnie Mouse Day wasn't just Minnie Mouse, it was Minnie's many looks. So kind of a nudge to be like, maybe don't pick the red polka dots, although he put me in red polka dots, to go with different outfits, since Minnie has lots of different outfits in different things in different places. And I like that fun, but I really, really do like the simple classic idea of just how can you take what we know as this character and translate it into normal clothes. And we would totally wear this on a park day. That is an outfit for both of us that we would wear to the parks. So I really like this one. Okay, so I went ahead and printed all 3, including the one with his face covered, which is like a running gag on my Instagram this month. He's Mike Wazowski. So the first photo always has his face covered, and then you have to swipe across to get the one with his face. It came as an idea from a challenge I needed to meet, and I'm loving the Mike Wazowski element of it. So what I was thinking is we don't need to see all of this photo, but I would like to have one or two with his face covered in the month so that the gag is also memorialized in my album. So I'm thinking that only kind of this much is going to show, and I'm going to overlap the second photo down here, and then I'm going to include the photo of him as well. Yeah. So I think composition-wise, because he's angling in that way, they're going to go with these two over here and this one over here. Oh, thank you, Joanne. And Amy says, no tags or paper tearing today. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. Okay, so here's the other thing I was thinking of, is obviously I don't have this color scheme left in the kit because we know, as I found with the Snow White page, that red, blue, yellow was not a combination that I had in the album, but that's okay. So I want to go with this, but not as the full page. I want to put a box here. And we know I love this paper. In fact, I love both sides of this paper. So I'm going to do one of those rare Shimelle moments, and I'm going to gut it. I'm going to cut the middle out of this paper. And then I'm going to draw you a sketch, do a speech, and we're going to make a page out of it. Right, what is happening here? So let's take off this branding strip in the right place. Today's bounding theme is pirates and mermaids. And as we were coming home late last night, he says to me, I hope you're okay with this, but I'm wanting to do the unexpected choice with pirates and mermaids. So you are going to be pirate colors, and I am going to be mermaid colors, because you know what he's been waiting to debut. You've seen the yellow boots many times. The purple boots are out today. So we're going to take our pictures after school today, so I haven't taken them yet. But I'm going to save this for another time. I'm going to use this as my background. Oh, yes. So yeah, so I'm Captain Hook, and he's the mermaids that say, we're only trying to drown her. So basically today we are united against Wendy, darling. I'm sorry. Anyway, I don't know. I didn't write Peter Pan. It's just how it turns out. Okay, let's bend and snap, even though I'm going to crop them. But we can't not bend and snap here. It's just part of the routine. One day, I'm just going to have to come up with a little bend and snap scrapbooking choreography. WB did a bend and snap routine the other day. If you've always thought that I came up with bend and snap, it's a song from Legally Blonde the musical. Okay, just clarifying. That's where it comes from. Okay, so if I take this border down, we can start to get an idea of what I mean by layering these. So I'm going to put them kind of like that. And then this one over here, I think, or maybe here even. Okay, let's draw. Step 1, draw a square. Step 2, draw the rest of the owl. Sorry, I always think that when it's step by steps. Right, so overlapping photos. So this one, but then this photo behind it, yeah. And I think separate them, but I may fail at this and come back, because we know I don't really, it's not that I dislike compositions with a gap in the middle, I just find them harder. So we'll see what happens there. Janice says, well, to be fair, Wendy was a bit of a killjoy. It's true, it's true. Right, where is my window over here with my notes? There we go. So what I'm thinking is this then has like a box of another paper on top. So I'm using the camera print, but it could be any busy print that you want to show, but it's too busy to go with your photos. Yeah. And then my plan is to kind of bring these together by adding in a journaling box in the middle and a bunch of embellishment. So I'm just going to put a line of stars there. It's the final page is not going to look anything like that, obviously. Okay, and then I think I'm going to tack the title over here. There we go. Yeah, I will be honest. My brain really wants to flip this, but I really like this on the left-hand side. I don't love it on that side. It really feels like a left-hand side photo. So even though in my head I kind of want to do this composition the other way around, I'm going to try really hard to make it work this way so that I can keep this photo facing the direction I want. Hello, Leslie. Okay, so here we go. That sketch, I don't know that it's going to be helpful to anyone ever in the history of the world. Maybe me, but there we go. All right, so I'm going to put some paper on top of this in a moment. Let's introduce myself. Hello! I'm not sure why I look in the dark today. Anyway, hi. I'm Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime I scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally, I need to make sure you're aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my hashtag advertising. I appreciate you being here, whether you are live, chatty, watch from Tomorrowland, quiet, craft, don't craft, coming back to craft. All of these things are all good and all welcome here. If you want to find links to the stuff that I talk about, it's all in the description box below the video. So you can find the supplies that I'm using this month. That's the March Best of Both Worlds kit. The supplies I'm using next month, that's the April Best of Both Worlds kit. And it is a little while since I've talked about what this idea of a kit is. It's not a kit that you subscribe to and get the whole package. I post a shopping list every month so that you can gather the supplies. Now you could go ahead and make it like a kit by adding one of everything on the list to your basket, checking out and getting it in the post. That's what I do. But you can also use the list to shop locally. You can use the list to shop for similar items that you already own in your stash, because I really do want you to use what you buy and not just collect it. So all of these ways of participating are all brilliant. You're never gonna hurt my feelings by changing anything up. Also, the whole idea of it being a shopping list rather than a whole kit already assembled for you is that you are in control. You're in control of your budget and your style. So if you see something and you think, oh, I really, really, really love that. I want 3 sheets, not 1, then add 3. But if you see something and you go, Shimelle, I would never use that. Even if you show me how to use it, I'm not gonna use that. It's just not my jam. Don't pay for it. Don't buy it. Leave it in the shop for somebody else who it is going to be their jam, and everybody wins, so that you are just getting the things that you know you love and you're going to use. Because I want you to use the stuff that you buy from the scrapbook stores. That's how this all works. That's how we keep going, is that we keep doing what we love, and maybe we share it with some people sometime and they go, hey, I want to try that too. So that's why it's called the Best of Both Worlds. It means that I've assembled all of the things that I'm going to use together, and I know it's going to work together, and I'm going to show you how I use all of the pieces, but you are still in control of what you buy, how much you spend, when you buy from your stash, when you buy from a shop, and what shop you shop at. All of those things. I do appreciate it when you use my affiliate link if you are shopping at scrapbook.com, so thanks very, very much. And I think that's probably enough hashtag advertising for today. You can also find the links to my Instagram, where I post all these Disney stories and other scrapbooky stuff. And you can find the link to my classes, which is all on Shimelle.com. Thanks so much. Let's scrapbook. Enough of my face. Right. Okay. So question number 1 then is, what paper are we going to put on top of this? Oh, and also, have I somehow made this Oh, trapezoidal. Does anybody else feel like like the camera's on an angle because this side is marginally bigger than this side? I'm somehow not square. Okay. Mathematically trying to figure out what do I need to move in order to sort that out. Okay. Right. So things we have in here. What colors do I have in this? No Donald Duck colors. I'm saving these two for the Haunted Mansion photos. These two are very similar, but that's a true orange and this is a red orange. And then we got brown that I'll figure out somewhere along the way. Okay, so not the rub-ons today. Oh, Auntie Caffeine has done this sort of layering, but she's done it to cover up boring parts of the photo or people in the picture that she doesn't like. Amazing. So we could go with orange or we could go with white. Let's try white. I don't often say that, but I'm game for it. And adding the white cardstock. Oh. Am I gonna knock that? Okay, we're all right. Sorry, I thought I was gonna knock something over. I didn't. Yeah, putting white cardstock onto the Snow White layout made it a lot easier for me to customize the colors. Right. But I wanted textured white. Oh, sorry. The microphone's going to bounce all over the place while I flip upside down looking for things at the bottom of the paper rack. I know I have a pack of textured white cardstock, and I'm only finding the smooth, which is lovely for stamping. But how if I manage to lose a whole pack of white cardstock when all the paper lives here? That's very weird. I have a feeling it's one of those things where I'm looking right at it and not seeing it. Yes, it was. Found it. I knew. I just had to talk about it to the point of embarrassing myself. And then I'd find it. There we go. I really need to put a light inside, especially at the bottom of my paper cupboard. Because I was looking right at it, but because I couldn't see light, it was looking like gray cardstock, not white cardstock. It was just in shadow. Okay, so we're gonna have that. And about how big does it need to be? Well, it just needs to be bigger than the piece that I cut out. It's gonna be lots bigger than that, that's fine. Let's take it to 9 by 9 and see how we go from there. Because 10 by 10 is not going to show enough of my beautiful paper. But 8 by 8 might be too small to work in the composition. Go add some photos to that layout onto Caffeine. Right, have I got my Pac-Man around? Because I did that for Amy. I made the edges all nice and smooth. I did not tear that paper, but I kind of want some texture. So trusty pink Pac-Man to the rescue. And distress my edges just a little bit. Wow, I say just a little bit, which means a whole lot of fuzz. Is this a horrible noise on the microphone, or is it okay? So if you don't have a Pac-Man from the days of yore, then you can do this with the edge of your scissors. Just be careful. All this is doing is putting a sharp blade inside a casing where I can hold on to it and not have a big blade exposed. So there's nothing that I'm doing here that I can't do with my scissors other than keep my hand super safe, because this is really hard to cut yourself. You'd have to wedge your finger in there somehow. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it's much easier to control than an open set of scissor blades. But that is essentially what I'm doing, rubbing a sharp blade against the edge of a piece of cardstock to give it a bit of texture. And then one of the tricks of the Pac-Man is that every once in a while kind of push in so that you get something that's a little bit more distressed. You could leave that step out if you don't like it, but I do like it. So not too much, but just the odd little divot here and there. And I've purposely kind of creased up my edges as I went. That's also big time personal preference. You may hate that look. If so, don't do it in your album. Okay. You might also want to vacuum your desk after that activity, because now I have this little dust storm. So this is going to go on there, but I don't want it to stay white, because all my photos have nice white borders in order to have some contrast framing. So I want a color behind them for the contrast. Otherwise, it's just white on white. That's not contrast. That's the opposite of contrast. That is no contrast. So I want to put some ink onto that background. And what I'm thinking is the blue of Donald is never going to match this minty blue-green that's in the cameras. So I'm not even going to try. I'm not going to try to add in a red, yellow, blue color scheme like it did with the Snow White photos. I'm going to stick with the yellow because I can make the yellow match the background, and we are all good. Rebecca says, did a live happen on Tuesday for this year's story? Yeah, there was one on Tuesday and one on Wednesday. They are both in the forum. I looked at your account earlier in the week, Rebecca, and I think we're all good. Can you see February? If not, let me know, and after this live stream, I will go have a look. I don't think Kirsty's here at the moment. She hasn't said anything in the live chat, but I know I looked at hers as well this week because she wasn't seeing February, but she should be now. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, 2 live streams this week. And then next week in this year's story, there's going to be some live, not live. So, oh, Rebecca says she still can't get in. Okay. I wonder if you've got duplicate accounts, because I know I did yours at one point this week. So let me write myself a note. After we are live, I will go investigate that again.
We've got another one coming up.
Okay. That's out of shot, right? I didn't just have your name sitting in the shot. Just trying to make sure I was off the corner, but I can see it, but it's not there for everyone. Okay. Right. So yeah, sorry, next week in this year's story, there won't be any lives, but there'll be live, not live. So a bit like here, how every once in a while I'll do a video and set it as a premiere because the video itself is edited, but I'm there in the live chat. That's what I'm going to do for the last little bits of February. But I haven't scheduled those just yet because I haven't finished editing the edited versions. But that way you don't have to see me go do the journaling and the letter stickers and things like that in real time. That bit will be sped up. All right. So we've got this sort of plan. And then I need something to come in here that I'm going to write on. I keep going to that one with the yellow top, but I really like the pink camera on the other side. Let's do that. Well, that's more cream than yellow. That one. Or this one. I like the lines. Okay. So do this one for, oh, sorry, Amy, a tag for the journaling, but you could pick a journaling box. In fact, I should probably look because I have other cut aparts here, not just the tags, and I might have been neglecting them. I do have a big journaling box here, but it's not the one for this layout. It is a different day, I feel. Oh, this one could be interesting to add a sunshine in there. There's no crinoline on that skirt. It's just a really gathered waist. Yeah, and not, like, it's a cotton, but it kind of looks like a seersucker, but it's not. It's thicker than that. Sorry, if Auntie Caffeine was asking if there is a petticoat underneath the skirt here. There's not. Annoyingly, it's one of those skirts that has, well, the dress has a lining, but I always feel like, why do dress companies not test lining fabrics against tights? Fabrics that stick to the fabric of tights are just not a good choice for dress linings, because not all of us live somewhere where it's warm enough to have bare legs year round. I do not. Okay, so we're going to do that sort of scenario, or you could put a tag in there. Okay. I want these cut aparts at the top of my pile so that I can access them with the stickers and die cuts. Okay. So yellow. Let's do yellow ink on this background. Just going to test underneath here to see how clean that brush is. Well, good, that's all coming out yellow. So what kind of yellow color do I want? Good morning, Sophia. Amy definitely prefers the journaling card to the tag. Okay, noted. Let's go with the journaling card. So I think we need to go with quite a bright yellow. So I'm going to start with squeezed lemonade. It's very bright. I'm going to start from underneath the photos and fade out. No stencil or anything here, just a color wash basically, but I'm not expecting to do any wet color wash, no water involved. Just, you could do this with a booper as well. Just feathering out the color so that then, see, now contrast. No contrast, contrast. Yeah. Good morning, Jessica. And then let's soften out these edges by going back and forth without re-inking. So I'm just moving ink that's either already in the brush or already on the paper. And just a reminder, Monday, there's no live. Next Tuesday is going to pretend it's Monday. I'm going to go on a school trip. Now, here's the funny thing. It's a school trip about space. And WP has already said, can we wear your NASA jackets? One each. Yes. Has he told his teacher that I'm a space nerd? No. So I don't know what she will think when we show up in NASA jackets. But she's also been teaching WB since September, so I kind of think she'll just not even notice that anything is different. What? There's a theme to your attire? No way, kiddo. Okay, so then I'm going to do a second layer, and this one is with a stencil. Now, I know if I say polka dots, you're going to say, but that's Minnie Mouse. But there's polka dots in the cameras back here, and I just like polka dots. My blazer that he picked that day is polka dots. But I want it to be really subtle. I don't want it to be a super contrasty red versus white kind of polka dot like Minnie Mouse. So I'm going to go with Wild Honey on top of the squeezed lemonade. And just the same brush. This is my warm color brush. I have one for warm colors, one for cool colors, cool colors, and that's it. That's all I got. So I could, if I wanted to go into the full Donald Duck color scheme, I could then maybe do a few little red dots and otherwise do blue dots. But that's not what I want. I want it to work well with the camera paper. I just want shades of yellow here. Yeah, I love a tonal. We like it, we like it. So, realign the stencil. This is all going to be behind the photo, so I don't need to worry too much about what's there. I need to put a few more dots up here on this top edge, so I'll do that in just a second. Oh, Sophia. Sophia is shooketh about the lack of yellow boots. Well, I told you earlier that the purple or the yellow boots were key on the spreadsheet, but there was also another set of boots. Those boots are out today, so we're going to photograph them after school. But he's got the purple boots on today. Okay, I want one just here. Darlis' husband is checking for the yellow boots as well. I love it. He will be very excited to know that the yellow boots are a thing. When somebody said, Faith had left a comment to say that Team Yellow Boots needed to be a hashtag, and he was just like, whoa, amazing, hashtag. So now I have to remember to put it on all the posts that have the yellow boots. So that's our two different colors of yellow in a polka dot. Happy times. Let's pop those back in the drawer. And I think I'm finally ready to stick this to background. Oh, Jessica says the yellow boots are the best thing on our Instagram feed. You're so lovely. And oh my goodness, he's so excited. I posted the day before yesterday, I posted a little video about the making of the World Book Day costume, which I haven't scrapbooked yet. And both the author and the illustrator of the book have commented, so I've pinned them to the top of the post. But he was so excited to hear back from them. And the author had sent a direct message as well that was a bit more lengthy, and he came and read it out and was just jumping up and down, so excited that the author and the illustrator approved of his costuming efforts. Okay, so I think the thing I need to do is put all 1, 2, 3, 4 of these elements together. I almost forgot how to count there. Before I stick them to the background, because I need to get the spacing right. So let us start layering where they're going to go. So this is going to cover his face, and this needs to go so that we've got the sunshine still. Oh, that fits nicely. We can make that kind of frame like that. So I think I'm going to do a wild thing today that's putting stuff at small angles. It's been a while. I don't often do it. But that's what I'm thinking. And then this will then just go a little bit over the edge on both. So I don't want to put it all the way down here because I lose the yellow. I need to move it up enough that I get the yellow at the back. And in fact, I'm just going to come back in here and stretch this yellow a little bit in this corner here and this corner here. That's fine. Now, as usual, the adhesive is not around the edges so that I can do plenty of layering by tucking stuff in. Yes. Okay, so we're here. Title can live up here, and then embellishments. And I got lots of these flowers. Donald Duck, you might not be floral, I don't know. I'm going to put you with flowers because it's going to look cool as a page. And oh, I didn't ink that. It's going to bother me that I didn't ink that. Okay, and here's the next question. Brown ink or black ink? I actually think black today. Right, so let's swap Booper's ink pads. Oh, Sophia and Darla's talking about when you're a kid and you get a new special item of clothing and then you wear it a lot, like the yellow boots, that many of us had a Peppa Pig dress at one point, and it was at one point the only thing she would wear anywhere without complaining. And so her mom was having to wash it overnight. It's okay that I just got a little bit of ink on there because I'm going to layer more stuff there. It's all right. Yeah. And I think quite a few kids will go through liking certain elements, not only for how they look, but also the sensory experience of clothes. There are definitely the clothes that just feel nicer. And when you're a kid, there's a lot less pressure to be like, oh, but I should wear this because I like how it looks. And you're happier with, but I like how this feels, so I'm going to wear this. Right, let's see, how can we layer all these little leaves in? What will tuck where? Like that. Because we can layer on top of this photo too, because the whole idea is that we're just covering up. I just want to see this little bit of his face covered up. Okay, where else can we put florals? Oh, it looks like we dropped connection just slightly and came back. Okay. Auntie Caffeine, do you find your tape runner adhesive still sticks after several years? I just pulled out an old layout out of its sleeve and it literally fell to pieces because the tape was no longer sticky. Have you not been here for my adhesive speech? Are you ready? No adhesive will work for everybody because adhesive is climate dependent. Okay, so what works for me in my climate may not work for you. And I know the industry does not talk about this. The way I realized exactly how much this was an issue was when American Crafts had similar rollers to this, and they had two, one solid and one dotted in the this to that range, I believe it was called. It was before Sticky Thumb. So I showed up at the office and I had all of the dot rollers. And I was like, oh, while I'm here, I need to buy a whole bunch more of these. And they all laughed and looked at me and said, you like that one? We only like the solid one. And I hate the solid one. Not a fan. I don't like the sensory experience and it falls apart for me. And then we realized that the climate in Utah and the climate in London are very, very different. They're in the mountains. They have very dry air. I'm on an island, not a tropical island, mind you, but an island with a lot of rain and a lot of humidity. And you know, the fact that you've heard me say sometimes that there's a beep because the dehumidifier needs emptying and we have to run a dehumidifier all the time. And that is not a thing where their office is. They're like, oh no, the air is so dry, you know, we would be buying humidifiers, not dehumidifiers. Okay, so that's when we realized what sticks for me in my climate is not what sticks for them in their climate. So the trickiest part of this is, what do you do if you move from one climate to another? And I really don't know. I guess I do. The answer is that there are some things that work because they are super sticky. If you can scrapbook with an ATG gun, that's basically scrapbooking with framers tape. It's not gonna move. I don't, because the experience of using an ATG is not helpful to me. I like removable adhesives, and I like small, lightweight adhesive gizmos, where the ATG is a framer's gun. It's a great, big, heavy thing that takes up a lot of desk space and makes my wrist tired. I want the tiny little thing that is not going to be a problem. But you will not see me use anything I don't actually, like my albums. If my albums were falling apart, I would be in here telling you, stop using this, I'm throwing it all out, and here's what I'm replacing with. And a lot of people come in and say, oh, I use way more adhesive than you. Do you just use a little bit of adhesive on the video, and then once we're not watching, do you go back and add loads more adhesive? No. And in fact, anytime that I look at something and go, oh, I'm going to need to find a better way to do that, I tell you that I'm going to do it later. So sometimes, especially with letter stickers, or maybe sometimes older enamel dots, if I'm starting to use them and they're falling off, but sometimes if you need to use wet glue, that's not very live stream friendly because it takes a long time and you can't move anything else for a while. I will tell you, I'm gonna come back and put different adhesive on this, but it's very, very rare that I do that. So the amount that you've just seen go onto all of this, that's what it's gonna have. Yeah? Okay. Right. Lovely. More flowers. So that's it. What works for me may not be what works for you. Test a whole bunch of stuff and find what works best in your climate, your conditions, your house. And with what you use to scrapbook. If your supplies were very different than mine, then it would not surprise me that my adhesive choices wouldn't necessarily be the right adhesive choice too. Yeah? And some people have great luck with metal embellishments, staples, paper clips, stick pins, flare badges and have no problem. And then in this country, they all rust. So, and I think sometimes you could live in a dry climate and the metal embellishments still rust, because I think the rusting may have started before it ever got to your house. This is just a theory. It might be a conspiracy theory. Is this a conspiracy theory of scrapbooking, that metal embellishments might actually already be not quite dry enough by the time they've gone into the packaging? I don't know. But like, we're not packaging things with like vacuums. Yeah. So if there's moisture in the air in the bubble packaging going on, it's going to stay there. Paige Evans says that liquid glue is the best and it doesn't ever fall apart. But Auntie Caffeine hates rolling through liquid adhesive bottles. Oh, because it's so expensive. And the other thing you need to be with liquid adhesive is somewhat tidy. And Paige is very precise. She can put teeny tiny things in teeny tiny places and get them exactly where she wants. I don't know if we've met, but I'm not good at that. So liquid adhesive is my last resort because I find it so hard to just make it kind of work without making a mess. Because it will drive me mad if there's a drop of glue that you could see on the layout. That's all I'll see. So no. So yeah, I only use it as a last resort. I'm trying to figure out where I want this. Yes, Amy points out the other thing that I'm not, and Paige is. You need to be patient with liquid glue. Amy is not patient when it comes to scrapbooking. I am not patient when it comes to scrapbooking. I want my layout done. I enjoy. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, maybe it needs to come over here diagonally. What about, is this one too different? Do they all just kind of go together this time? Oh, I feel like some of them are a little bit similar and a little bit different. So, dun, dun, dun. I really do like that one in the bottom corner. I just need to work out what else is going to go up here. Okay. It's these three. This one's not going to get stuck yet because I need to work it in with the title. Jessica has one rolling adhesive that works. If it ever stops being sold, she's in trouble. I understand that. By the way, this one, the refills came back in stock this week, and multiple people sent me messages going, just to let you know, their refills are back in stock at scrapbook.com. Thank you. Amazing. So this one's going to come on top of the photo, I think. Okay. Then what do we got in terms of large wording pieces before I go in with tile card? No, okay. Let's see if we can work in this. And then if you know much about Donald Duck, you know he is number 1. That's why this. So if you meet Donald and you ask him to sign your autograph book, he is going to say, Donald Duck, number 1. And if you try to suggest that Mr. Mickey Mouse is number 1, you will be corrected with much enthusiasm, because that is not the case. Donald is clearly number 1. See you later, Auntie Caffeine. And good morning to Shell, who ordered 2 of the 6-packs in the refills. Amazing. Right, can I write the word number? N-U-M-B-E-R. I can. And then I've got a 1 here. Okay. Sophia says, Paige does something akin to 3D paper crafts with a lot of her layouts. They're beautiful, but they have lots of precision, small pieces. Yeah, that's very Paige. I love looking at them, but I am not so patient as to construct them myself. And so also, as many of you have pointed out, I like to pick things up and put down. Pick up, put down. Jenna says, if you get an autograph from Donald, do not mention the lack of trousers. He definitely has opinions. Yeah. He just gets a shirt while the mouse gets a whole outfit. And I've got a 1. Okay. Now, I didn't mean for that to get stuck down, but it has. So see, if that had been wet glue, I'd be in trouble. Because that's not where I want it to go. Okay. And then we're going to put that behind there. Oh, it's weird to work with little angles when I do it so infrequently these days. Okay, so this just needs to go up on this angle a little bit more. Okay, right. Can I spell Donald in this or no? Or duck? Oh, I got no A's left. Okay. Oh, got a random S here that I'll probably want later. Let's see if I can pop it back on. There we go. Now, it's got a place for journaling. It's got a title. I want to use some of these black hearts as confetti elements. So I'm going to start with a larger one along this diagonal. In each of those spots. Okay, I'm going to come back to add more to that confetti, but I'm just marking it out so I know where I'm going. Then what have we got here? Good times. Amazing. And I wonder if I can fit this bigger one in here. It just keeps getting better. So I want that yellow to remain visible, so I'm just going to leave a little gap there. Then I've got smaller ones to work in the two top gatherings here. Oh, I want this one in the middle because there's one that's a different shade. So this one needs to go here. And then the lighter one, because these are very similar. Actually, they are all three slightly different. But at a glance, this one and that one are pretty close, where this one is obviously different. Okay. Now, I originally thought I might want to tuck in something from here. Let's try. Up there? I think so. So I like these two together. I just need to add something else in here so that I have some contrast, because now I've got all of the turquoise here together. So let's bring in, actually, bring in the pink one. Just for Amy, I'm going to do this with scissors. So use this kind of as a label. It's just half. The other side had the jacks on it, and I'm not in a huge rush to use the jacks. I'm not thinking of anything that they're really going to suit. I do like it closer here. Okay. And then the die cuts that aren't the flowers. What have we got in there? More jacks, but anything that I could make work. I mean, we could bring in another camera to match that camera, but scale's a bit off for the space that I have left here. We could make Donald spit by putting in a Pantone swatch that says, "So sweet." He would not like that. Or indeed, so cute. But I do need turquoise down here because I've got a lot of it here and I need to bring it down here. Has absolutely nothing to do with this layout. Would not be the first time that I would include it though. Okay, so let's take that. Oh, I could bring in the Viewmaster, that's turquoise, and totally only including it because it's cute. Okay, let's do that. I think that's more relevant than the so cute. I don't know. There's something about Donald Duck that just says he's gonna get upset with me if I put in things that call him cute or sweet, Donald Duck. This is not how he goes. Okay, the pink needs to come down further. See? I have to move stuff around. Now, let's come back to these confetti pieces. And then enamel dots for more confetti. Let's go back in with the yellow. Wanted to break up the turquoise, so we'll do that with the yellow dots here. So that's all the yellow dots done. Let's throw some gold on here. Now, I think you could keep adding more stuff by tucking in. So you could put more flowers back here. You could put labels up here. Yeah. See, I did too, Darlis. In fact, we still have a Disneyland Viewmaster reel, and I think when I was a kid, I think my first two Viewmaster reels, or at least the two that I remember the clearest, so maybe I looked at them more, but I feel like they were the ones that I got when I very first got a Viewmaster. One was Disneyland, which is funny because I didn't visit Disneyland as a kid. I did go to Magic Kingdom in Florida, but I didn't go to California until I was an adult on my own. And then the other one was Snow White. It was 100% Snow White. Like an animated one. So one was photos and one was cartoons. Okay, so let's have a little zoom in for the details. So we got this corner, that corner, journaling box in the middle, and a corner down here. So I'll let that all dry before I put the journaling on. And you can giggle that like the tonal polka dot just barely shows, but I think totally worth it. I know I covered up a lot of the yellow ink, but it's just right. I love it. So I have no regret about doing all of that inking to just cover up a little bit. Oh, Jenna also had a Disneyland Viewmaster. Maybe it was a big time seller. Maybe. Okay. Oh, Jenna had Pirates of the Caribbean as a ride Viewmaster. I like that too. I know my Disneyland Viewmaster still had the donkeys, which you could go on donkey rides at one point in time at Disneyland. And I don't know when they stopped. I need to look that up. By the time I was there, obviously, long gone. But when I was a kid, I knew that you could ride a donkey at Disneyland. There we go. Right, so thank you very much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video and you want to give it a thumbs up, that'd be super duper fabulously awesome. It helps me behind the scenes, but also helps you get more of the stuff that you like in your feed. So that is fabulous for both of us. Thanks for everybody who takes the time to do that. Now, next week, remember, Monday has been rescheduled to Tuesday. So I don't know what you're going to do with your Monday, but I will not be here at 1:30 scrapbooking. I will be here Tuesday at 1:30 scrapbooking. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I'm going to be doing stuff in the This Year's Story class. And then Friday, I'll be back live here as per normal, 10 a.m. on Friday. So next week, Tuesday and Friday, plus class in between. Right? Thank you so much, Rebecca. I'm going to go investigate your account now, and I shall see you all very soon. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.